and shadows fall, I'll be beside you whenever you call. When worries weigh heavy and fears take flight, I'll be your strength, guiding through the night. And when the days are dark and heavy on your heart, I'll be the voice to guide you through the dim. Strong walls may crumble, but within you've got the spark. Just turn the key, let light dissolve the grim. Did you think you were alone in your feelings? Strike a match, let your inner strength be seen. Welcome to All Things Serious. In the depths of your despair, where demons roam, I'll be the hand to hold. You're never alone. When storms rage fierce and winds blow strong, I'll be the shelter in your soul where you belong. Welcome to All Things Serious.
Welcome, everybody. I used to have a common saying when people first came in to make sure the mic is working. I used to say Marco, and everybody in chat would say Polo. So I'm going to start this off. Marco. There we go. There we go. I love it. I love it. Yes. So let's give everybody a shout out in chat that are here and chilling with us tonight while we talk about something that's going to be interesting. So we got Sweet and Sleuthy, 71KJC. Kim, how are you doing? Low 12. Lisa's in the house. Tara Latricia, Alibi. Roe the Hated. He's not really hated, but neither here nor there. So last night I was doing a live and I asked a few people for suggestions on what I should talk about. Oh yeah, that beard's getting bigger. And somebody suggested invisible illness. Talk about invisible illness. So I was doing some research, and you know what I noticed, all right, is, when you see somebody pull up into a handicapped spot of a grocery store, of a pharmacy or whatever, and they get out and they look perfectly fine, and somebody automatically judges them. And they're like, what's wrong with them? Why are they parking there? And because that's how I used to be. And now I'm one of those guys that park there. And I look perfectly normal and everything like that. But man, once I leave that store and sit down, I'm like, thank heavens. Sorry for whistling. What are you eating, Lisa? I'm interested. Nana's Dragonfly has entered the chat. How are you doing? So you don't know what somebody's struggling with. It could be anything. So let's get on to coping with an invisible illness. Is a health condition that isn't outwardly visible but can limit or challenge a person in some way. They include chronic medical conditions with debilitating pain and fatigue, such as, I'm not pronouncing that, it's just chronic fatigue syndrome, lupus, fibromyalgia, and Crohn's disease. Mental health disorders often fall into this category as well. People with invisible illness can look healthy on the outside, leaving them to deal with friends, family members, and even medical practitioners who question whether they are truly sick. Here we explore why these conditions are so hard to diagnose and the impacts they can have, as well as how to cope with an invisible illness. So, for those of you who want to also check out what I'm reading, this is the website I am going through. I post a link in chat. So usually what I do is when I do my research, I go through and I read articles and I don't read the whole article because I read the most important parts of the article. So what is Lisa making? I missed it in chat. Oh, my word. Sorry for interrupting chat. I love Salisbury steak with mushroom gravy, and I'm jealous. Kel, how you doing? Good seeing you in chat. So what's crazy is my mother has an invisible illness that she deals with on a daily basis. Okay. You look at her, and one day I'm going to ask her what that invisible illness is. You know what? I should have asked her. You know what? I know my mom so well, but the thing is I don't know a lot of her struggles. Give me just a moment. I'm going to ask her real quick. All right, I'm back. I wanted to make sure before I said anything that I was accurate. So my mother, she was born with one less lumbar disc in her back. So she has back pain. But when you see her, it doesn't look like she has a bad back, but she does. You can't see it, but it's an invisible illness. It's like you got a lot of people that like who was it in chat that mentioned cancer. There are some people that struggle with that have cancer that you can't tell because of the way they dress or the hair they use, and you can't tell that's an invisible illness. Because I know some people that doll themselves up that I've seen in the past that had cancer, and you look at them, you can't even tell that they have it because they're all dolled up and everything like that. Crohn's disease. I think that's one of the things I mentioned in here. Crohn's disease, yes, sweet and sleuthy. So difficulties in diagnosing an invisible illness. People with an invisible illness likely know all too well how difficult it can be to get a diagnosis. Many of these conditions cannot be identified with simple blood tests and often require the process of elimination in a patient's reporting of symptoms for a diagnosis to be made. Fibromyalgia, for instance, is diagnosed almost entirely based on a patient's explanation of the symptoms they're experiencing. Getting these diagnoses requires seeing a physician who understands the condition, who listens to the patient, and who believes what the patient is telling them. My mom used to have what they call TMJ, trigeminal neuralgia, but she's good with it now. She had the surgery and no longer suffers with it. And that surgery scared the daylights out of me. They had to, my mom filled out a DNR if something bad happened, which really scared me. BB, Beyond Amazing, welcome. It really, really scared me when she had to fill out that DNR. The good news is awareness is being raised in medical communities about invisible illnesses. This can lead to faster diagnosis. An invisible illness can make it difficult for a person to live a full and productive life. So despite these strides, it can be beneficial to seek out second and third opinions when experiencing chronic symptoms with no explanation and diagnosis. So, invisible illnesses are rheumatoid arthritis, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, diabetes, celiac disease, lupus. I can't even pronounce. I'm going to screen share and tell me if anybody can pronounce it and see it. Hold on. It's an autoimmune disorder impacting the eyes and mouth, migraine headaches, Crohn's disease. Those are the most common invisible illnesses that people struggle with today. And a lot of them you look at them like you can tell somebody, you can tell when somebody is physically disabled because you see it. You know, in a wheelchair or walking with crutches, you can see it, but there's a lot of other people that have invisible illnesses that we can't see. And those are the people that get judged, which I think is wrong. It's wrong. Like you got people out here that have bipolar, PTSD, a lot of other mental illnesses, and you see them on the streets. You see them. You see ones that are just in a whole nother world. DJ Rogue Knox, welcome. Good seeing you. And it just, you don't know what people are going through. You really don't. You really don't. All right, I'm going to go to chat and see some things being talked about. I want to go through chat. Okay. Catch up on chat real quick. Catch up on chat. Marianne Bays, welcome. Yeah. So, Lisa, I would reach out to his caseworker because You should not be. There should be help. There should be help. Especially if they have insurance. There should be help. There should be a home health aide, a visiting nurse that should be there to help, if not do the job for you. I agree. You never know when somebody is standing behind you or next to you what they are going through. Just be kind. That's such a true statement. Yes. You never know. Somebody could be having a rough day, and just being kind to that person can change it all around. That's what I try to, you know, eject from my circle, my energy. I try to eject positive energy. See, the thing is these people want to put everybody in a home. Once they go into a home, they go their mind and health and everything goes down fast. They go fast. I don't understand why everybody put them in a home. Put them in a home. You know, I don't understand it. I really don't. That drives me crazy hearing that. Like he's he has insurance for a reason. Okay, he has insurance for a reason. I would appeal everything. I would fight it. I would appeal it. He's home. They should be coming in and taking care of him. My word, man. Insurance companies are hard to deal with. Hard to deal with. Hard to deal with. Hard. And it just kills me. I don't even know why. It just really upsets me. I don't understand it. When you're struggling with something and you need help and you have access to it, you know, my brother, this is what he does now. Okay. He went on a whole different career change. He used to work with machinery. He was a factory worker. You know what he does now? He does home health aid. He took a huge career change, and that's what he does now. He takes care of people that can't take care of themselves, helps them to the bathroom, everything. He takes care of them. He did. He takes care of them, and I'm proud of my brother for what he does now. That's a big career move. He took a pay decrease and everything. So Sweet and Sleuthy, you want to come up on panel and if you're still in here, I'm going to open up the panel. I'm going to open up the panel. I would never put my mom in a nursing home. Never. It would be a cold day in HE double hockey stick. before I put my mom in a nursing home. I will change around everything in my house where I live to make her. I would never put her in a nursing home. Nope. I would get her all the help she needs living with me. Everybody, people who want to keep their family there and take care of their family and at home and they want to be home, you take care of them at home. I will share this story, and it's not about invisible illness. Growing up, I was a crappy son to my mother. I'm sorry to hear that, sweet and sleuthy. Growing up, I was a crappy son to my mother, so I'm making up everything now for how I was as a child. I'm making up for everything. I'm a mama's boy and always have been, but man, I gave her one hell of a childhood, I'll tell you that. My childhood was horrible. Outburst, everything. I was not an easy kid to deal with. I was not. And just so you know, Sweet and Sleuthy's daughter is a very strong individual. She is very strong. And here's some cognitive disorders. You know, several cognitive and brain-based conditions are invisible due to the lack of any outward or visual symptoms. Among them are Alzheimer's or dementia, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, dyslexia, and traumatic brain injury. Mental health disorders, many psychological conditions also fall under the umbrella of an invisible illness. They include anxiety disorders, borderline personality disorders, depression, PTSD, and schizophrenia. And the reason why a lot of these people I agree, Maven. I agree. I agree with that statement when it comes to their happiness. Funky Justunky, how you doing? Thank you for dropping in. So I just think when people are struggling with an invisible illness and you find out that they have an invisible illness by talking to them, treat them more kindly. And even if you don't know they have an invisible illness, don't pass judgment because you don't know what they're going through. They could be going through something mentally, physically. You just can't see it. Treat them with kindness. I saw a video. I watched a video of a soldier. He wasn't a soldier, he was ex military. and he was parked in a handicap spot. And he was getting criticized because he got out of the vehicle normal and he got into the vehicle normal. But you don't know what he was going through. Rub Vicks under your nose, Lisa. That's what BB Beyond Amazing said. Rub Vicks under your nose. Hey, Vicks works well. You don't smell anything but Vicks Vapor Rub. Man. I so want to laugh at that statement, Lisa. All right, Funky Jasunky. Have a good day. Get that homework done. So, the visual is what gets to you, Lisa. I don't know. Put some sunglasses on. Don't know what to say about that one. So basically, Lisa needs an ass wiper to help her. Somebody come in and do that. She'll do everything else. Wear rose-colored glasses, maybe. uh, man. I used to work in a nursing home. I know how the struggle can be because I've worked. I had a friend of mine that had back surgery, and I had to change and help him with the bathroom and stuff like that. Oh, Lord. I got to turn that alarm off. I don't need it at 9 o'clock at night. So back to what killed me in a nursing home. I don't know why I keep saying it. What bothered me is I worked in the dietary aid, and I normally did the soft foods and the purees for people. uh, lately, that's what's been happening there, Nana's Dragonfly, is that conversation. When you go into a nursing home and you don't have family coming to visit you, this is the reason why I am so against when you put your family member in a nursing home is because you don't care about them. That's how I feel. Okay. That's how I feel. Because I worked in so many nursing homes where family members quit visiting. And that's what hurt me. So I've always wanted to work in a nursing home where I would spend time. And when I worked at this nursing home, on my lunch breaks, I would sit with these people and conversate with them and spend time with them. This whole conversation just went off the rails. Invisible illness to nursing homes. I hate nursing homes with a passion because family members quit visiting them as soon as they go into a nursing home. A lot of them be like, well, they're not my problem anymore. And then all of a sudden, weekly visits go to monthly visits to no visits at all. Really hurts me seeing that happen. Really does. That's the reason why I don't like nursing homes. So, invisible illnesses are serious. Mental health is serious. Do you know how many people? Okay, I agree with that statement. I understand where you're coming from, Mavid. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Okay, but I guess for me, I guess for me, I watched my grandmother pass away. I watched my Uncle Howie. I see my Uncle Howie pass away. You know, it's I'm used to it. It's common to me. I'm used to it. So my grandmother was taken care of so well, passing away at home, than she would have been in any nursing home. Just saying, than any nursing home. So, but back to coping with the mental invisible illness. The spoon theory was developed in 2003 by Christine Miserandio, a woman living with lupus. It was a way to help people who don't have an invisible illness better understand what it's like to live with this type of condition. This theory asks people to imagine having to give a spoon for everything they do any given day, like going to work, engaging in a meeting, having coffee with friends, playing with their kids, making dinner, taking a shower, washing dishes. The spoon theory suggests that the most healthy individual have more spoons than they need to get through any given day. But people with an invisible illness have a very limited number of spoons. And they have to be careful how they use them because once they're out, they're out. This is the impact of invisible illnesses. There are only so many spoons to spare. And on some days, there are even fewer than others. One. So, not one. On those days, a person might find themselves having to stay in bed when they would rather be spending time with friends. Sometimes there just aren't enough spoons to give away. An invisible illness can make it difficult for a person to live a full and productive life. Coping with an invisible illness, living with an invisible illness can be difficult. Here are a few ways to cope. Find community support. Invisible awareness is growing every day, not just in the medical communities, but in society as a whole. There are online support groups, Facebook communities, and other resources available to help navigate even the worst days with an invisible condition. There are also healthcare providers who understand care and stay up to date on the latest research and advancements and want to help in whatever ways they can. Reach out to these individuals for support. Get a referral. Individuals who don't currently have a care provider who understands these illnesses can benefit from asking others for a referral. Everyone deserves a doctor who believes them, who cares about them, and who wants to help them preserve as many spoons as they can. Consider seeing a therapist. One of the best things we can do for ourselves is seek out help of a mental health professional who is experienced in treating patients with an invisible illness. These professionals can help us find ways to optimize our mental health, which can also allow us to achieve the best results for our physical health. Yes, Rogue Knox, the spoon theory. You start with 12 spoons, and then you take away a spoon for everything you do. And when you run out of spoons, you rest. You could go through 12 spoons in the matter of 3 or 4 hours, and then you're back in bed all day. Whitney Mason karaoke. Is that your channel, Whitney Mason karaoke? Is that a channel? Just asking. The spoon theory is very interesting. I've never heard of the spoon theory. What is true? How you doing? Okay. An invisible disability is a long-term impairment, health condition, or illness that isn't immediately visible in most common circumstances. Invisible disabilities, also known as hidden disabilities or non-visible disabilities, are disabilities that are not immediately apparent. They are typically chronic illnesses and conditions that significantly impair normal activities of daily living. So, up until 2019, everything was fine until I slipped and fell. And when I slipped and fell, my whole world went south. When I slipped and fell. You know, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people out there who struggle with physical pain on a daily basis and are used to it. They have a high tolerance for pain. And you can see them every day. Well, I have a high tolerance for pain. Well, I used to. It's getting to be too much. lately. And I watch a lot of people out there that deal with it on a daily basis, and I feel for them. You know, before I never understood it. I never knew what arthritis was. Now I have it. Um, I don't have rheumatoid arthritis, so I don't have an autoimmune deficiency. Um, I've seen a rheumatologist, and he said the good thing is you don't have rheumatoid arthritis. The bad thing is you have arthritis. And I'm like, is there anything to do about it? Because I thought there was treatment. There's treatment for rheumatoid arthritis. But if you don't take care of it and treat it, there's treatment. And if you don't take care of it, it can take you. Yes, Nan is Dragonfly. I deal with both physical and mental. And it's getting too much. It's getting to be too much sometimes. So I can't wait till I see my doctor and explain that, you know, the mental pain and the physical pain is getting way too much for me. It's draining my energy. It really is. And I take my medication for my mental health, but I take nothing for my the physical pain. And it's getting to be too much. It really is. So I can feel for those who struggle physically and mentally. I can feel for them. You know how they say karma. Karma. Karma catches up to you. Like I tell people, you know, before, back in my younger days, I was not a kind person. I wasn't a kind person. You grow up, you learn from your mistakes, and you move forward. Now I'm taking those mistakes that I've learned from and I share it. Hopefully, make other people change, you know, and get help. You know, it's just not sharing mental health, it's sharing personal stories, you know, because there's a lot of us out here in our younger years. When I was so when I was an alcoholic, right? People used to tell me that I needed help and I needed to see a therapist because I had issues and I needed help. And I'm like, I ain't got no issues. I don't need no help. I'm perfectly fine. You know, I ain't mentally unstable. You know, come to find out I was, but I didn't feel it. I didn't think I was mentally unstable. I didn't think I had any of these issues. And in reality, I did. But the whole time I'm denying it, I'm making fun of those people. And the whole time I have it, but I wouldn't accept it. And then I quit drinking and my whole world came crashing down because I didn't have a way to cope. So now I have to deal with it. And, when you're dealing with it, you realize I was making fun of myself because I struggle with the same thing a lot of these other people struggle with. And you learn from your mistakes and you move forward. You know, I share my story so people that have been through it understand, and then I'm making up for what I did. I'm making up for who I was as a person. You live and you learn. And if you don't learn, then you're not living. This just went off the Richter scale. Train just went off the tracks. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. That's what I was trying to say, David. You took the words right out of my mouth. You took the words right out of my mouth. I think some people make fun of what they are distance themselves from it psychologically. I think some people make fun of what they are. And the thing is sometimes I make fun of myself because if I don't, I'm going to be miserable. And I'm trying not to be miserable. But I feel miserable. I wake up every morning and I'm like, I'm on the right side of the bed. I wake up on the right side of the bed. I'm awake. I'm alive. But I just want to stay in bed because I feel miserable. And I can't let myself feel miserable. I have to get out of bed. Ginger, how you doing? I think I'm just stressed out with life right now. Just stressed. Some days, I will tell you this, Nana Dragonfly. I'm not when it does it hurt mentally or physically to do this live to help others. If not, you have a purpose. That's a good question. That's a good question. That is a very good question, Nana's Dragonfly. I hurt physically and mentally every day. I do. And that's being honest. That's being honest. But I like to share what I go through to let people know that they're not alone. Yeah, you need a day to go for a ride or go fishing, just you and yourself. No, if I'm going to go fishing, I have to go with friends. I love fishing. I love fishing. I haven't been fishing in so long. Every time I go fishing, I'm usually the only one in the group catching what we need to go fishing for. And yes, 71, I am stressed. I am stressed over the surgery I might have to have on my ankle. Because I'm a very independent person, and my mother is 76 years old, and I don't want to put a lot on her plate. And when I have surgery, I won't be able to be very independent until I start healing. So I'm going to put a lot on her plate, and I don't want to do that. That's what's stressing me. I would have to I would have to look into that to see if I can get somebody to come in. I'll have to talk to my doctor. Yep. So I'm gonna look into it. 71. So I want to thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna be live at 2:30 in the morning. David A, how you doing? I'm gonna be live 2:30 a.m. like I usually am. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. Unless I don't see I'm probably going to have to do that out of the shadows with Ginger because the pain is getting too much. It's getting unbearable. It's getting unbearable, Ginger. I'm probably going to have to look into that because the pain is getting too much. Too much. So it's getting too much. So I'm going to be going live at 2:30 in the morning. So I will see you guys maybe a little bit earlier. Maybe I did the cortisone. The cortisone shots don't work. Just saying. I got to do something. Yes. So put a one in chat if you're going to be here about 1:30, 2:30 in the morning. I'm hoping by the weekend, this is switched around and I got my new setup. Hopefully by the weekend. So that's my game plan by the weekend. Thank you, Nana. So I got Kim that's going to possibly be here. Low 12 maybe be here. Lisa will be here. So there'll be quite a few here. So, but I'll probably be better off at that time mentally. I had a rough night. I tossed and turned, couldn't sleep. Woke up like 10 times. I'm like, it's 5:30 in the evening and I'm still tired. I don't know why. I don't know why. You know, it has a lot to do with when you overthink and you're thinking too much. That's okay, Nana. You'll catch it. You'll catch a late live when you don't have to work early. I have insomnia low 12. That's my problem. I fight my sleep. That's the reason why I go live late, so it makes me tired. When I'm talking a lot and talking to you guys and hanging out, I do get tired. So, but I'll see you guys then about 1:30, 2:30 in the morning. I'll be live again. I'll see you guys then. So I'm going to end this live now. Probably take a small nap. Maybe not. My neighbor will probably come over and we'll play some cribbage. So, all right, everybody. Have a good evening. And for those of you that got to work in the morning, have a good night. And I will see you guys later. All Things Serious is out.